We just got robbed. Um, it's definitely professionals. They definitely set up webcams like a week beforehand, scouted out the store and everything, etc., etc. I don't really know why y'all want to hear the details. I guess it's somewhat interesting, but everyone's asked how many times I've been robbed, this and that. So let's go over. We'll get back to this robbery. This was the most sophisticated robbery because at this point we have put in shoot probably over $500,000 in security in our locations, and it almost paid off. But they figured out a way around it. These little bastards. Um, yeah. Well, let's go through some of the older ones. So one of the first ones I remember. This is probably after like 2 or 3 years. It was young kids. They threw a rock through one of our huge windows. We got the call. This might have been before we had we had alarms since the day we opened. So we had an alarm monitoring company. So uh, the alarm company must have called us. The cops caught them, and it was just young, like 17, 18-year-old kids. They threw a giant rock through the window, broke it, and then climbed in and stole like $300 worth of stuff. Just young kids doing dumb stuff. Um, it gets worse though. I only remember 4 or 5 times. There's probably more. Obviously, during store hours, we've had tons of people steal and had to go back on the cameras, check it, and prosecute them. We've had people, the sleight of hand, big heavy jackets, stuffing stuff in. Also, we've had employees steal, all the normal stuff of running a store. One time, yeah, this one we had an employee get shot at. And so this was kind of the beginning of when Denver started getting really nasty. Denver's a very disgusting place nowadays. And so I think he was leaving the car or leaving the store to go to the car, and they were, I think, trying to rob him as he closed to like force him back in, but he had already set the alarm and shut the door. So at that point it's like really difficult. I guess they could have held him at gunpoint and forced him back in. I think that was the plan. They were hiding behind a car. They jumped out and it scared him, and he just sprinted off and made it safely. But there was a bullet hole in the side of our building. They did take a shot at him. That's super scary. That's pretty crazy. One time, here's another one. So this is when we added an extra building, and so this building has aluminum siding. Now it's like, I don't even know, reinforced steel, concrete, and 700 other things. So when we first got it, it was just aluminum. So a car, yeah. So they stole from a construction site like 2 hours north of Denver. Stole like an F-150 or Chevy 3500, something like that. Stole a truck, drove it down, and they hit like 5 or 6 different stores. We found out later, and put a battering ram like on the back, and they just drove in reverse and rammed like 3 times till they like ripped a hole in the wall. And then the two of them went in, stole as much as they could, got it, and went out. And they were in and out in like 4 minutes. That's what we're used to. Whenever robbery attempts happen, usually it's like less than 5 minutes. And if they are successful, we see them go in and go out. Oh, shoot, I forgot about the worst. This is definitely the worst one. So this is during store hours. I think our store closed, so they knew what hours we closed, which is not hard to do. And they knew when we closed. I think it was 4 of them, came in. All of them had guns, shotguns, and pistols. They came in, forced the manager down on the ground. He had to open the safe for them, and they took, I think, 20,000-ish, something like that. They hit a few different spots. They ended up getting arrested, but obviously nothing comes back to us. They already spent it, whatever. It's gone, lost cause. That was a scary one. That manager, Kyle, I feel so bad for him. I don't even know what to do. We're like, take days off. I think that there's mental health therapy. But how do you get past that? Like, you're working a normal retail job. People are coming in. You're just selling stuff. And then all of a sudden, 4 guys with guns come in, force you to the ground, open the safe. And I mean, he did everything right. Like, that's our policy. Is that, if guys with guns come in, give them whatever. We'll deal with it later. Like, we don't need anyone trying to fight for money. So he did exactly what he did. Open the safe, gave them whatever they wanted. The crazy part is there was another person on duty who didn't even know this was like happening. They were in another room. I think they were counting cash for the end of the day or clearing their drawers, something like that, and like didn't even really know what happened. And that's how quick it usually happens. Not the most recent one. Denver's getting even worse. So yeah, so we've had shooting, we've had armed guys coming during daytime, multiple employees because there's probably 3 or 4 in the back too. Come in and seeing the video is like gut wrenching. Like watching one of your employees, I mean, not even employees, like friend, coworker, teammate, like the sheer terror on his face when 4 guys. I mean, you have shotguns and pistols, and they're all wearing covered in hoodies and pants and whatever. So that was pretty crazy, man. We've actually had a few. We had another one where we've had a few attempts too. We've had ones where they've actually entered, but they couldn't get into the safe, and they tried. So all of our interior doors also are very expensive and very difficult to break in. Our exterior doors are what they call like a 5-pin. So when you actually lock it, there's like 5 rods that go into the wall. So like this most recent one, they set up the webcams and scouted us out, whatever, for like a week. I mean, we had to go back through footage to go see when they actually set these up. And so they went in, tried to go in our back door, but it's got those pins. I think it's called a 5-pin door, but it's like a $50,000 door. Very expensive door. And so they tried to crowbar it. They tried to do something else to it. Couldn't get in there. Went around to the front. Again, it's one of these expensive doors. They tried to get in. They couldn't get in the front. So now and there was 7 of them. Seven robbers, 7 thieves, 7 losers. And so then they eventually went through our neighbor and then broke through the cement wall. And that's how they finally got in. So as soon as they started working on the back door, trying to get in, our alarms are going off. Like, it's not quiet. There's a lot of them. It's probably like a 5,000 square foot building. There's probably 10 different alarms going off. And instantly our alarm company gets notified, calls the police, and goes, hey, there's a problem. There's an active robbery right now. So these alarms, we're watching the film. I mean, obviously afterwards. So we're watching the video. For 45 minutes, these alarms are going off, and the guys are in there just stealing. Like, hustling a little bit, but like they know the Denver police isn't going to do shit. So they are not running. They're not sprinting. They're just like 45 minutes. Steal. Nobody cares. It's Denver. There's always alarms going and robberies happening. It's so embarrassing for them. The police showed up 2.5 hours after our alarm went off for an active armed robbery. Is that not crazy or what? That is insanity. So for 45 minutes, they're just in there taking whatever they can. Fucking insane. 17 years. Yep, this is our 17th year, and we probably get robbed once every 2 years, or at least an attempt. This is definitely the worst one. Let's go money-wise, because nobody got hurt and nobody got fear, so it's, I mean, again, we have to rebuild our building because they put a hole in the side wall, cement, literally hole in cement wall. So to rebuild that, so the $60,000 that they stole. This is going to be insanely. Oh, what's up, Dave? Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason I left Denver like 3 years ago. I lived there my whole life, very pro Denver until there's nothing to be pro about anymore. And still have some businesses and houses there and buildings, and now I'm even going to push harder to get rid of them. I really want nothing to do with that city. But yeah, so now we have to rebuild everything. We have to figure out a new system. It's like it's always a game. We put in all of our buildings roughly $500,000 in security, and I guess now we have to line cement walls with steel rods or electrical current. I have no idea. I don't even know where to go at this point. We've done everything we can do, and now we have now people are just putting holes in the sides of our buildings and not even caring when the alarm's going off. What else do we do? The police don't help. No one's there to help. You just have to sit there and I guess just throw more money at it. I don't even understand. I got no idea. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty true, Jake. I don't even know how it's still functioning. Everyone I know in Denver that is like gone. Like when I go back, I'm like you used to have, you could send one group chat or one post on Facebook in Denver, like we're going to brunch, and you'd have like 50 people show up. Just we had now, if I went back, I would send out texts. I'm like, oh, I moved to Carolina, I moved to Florida, I moved to Texas. Like everyone gone. Denver's just like dunzo, man. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. It's so sad. That was my city. Dude, 2012, I traveled the world and I was bragging all day. Dude, if you haven't been to Denver, it's the best city in the world. And just to watch it just decline, man. It's so sad. That place used to be so awesome. What a great city that just got destroyed. It's sad. Yeah, man. How many times have I been on the news for robberies? Probably like six. I mean, this store, this business has been robbed 4 or 5 times. Electric. Well, you can't really have a dog. Um, First off, you're growing like things that people inhale and eat and consume, so you can't have fur all over the place. Plus, now we're hiring a dog walker to live in an industrial building. That doesn't make sense. It's gonna sleep with lights on 24 hours. That's not good for the dog. Dog doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you're in Minneapolis. I don't know if you moved anywhere better, Minneapolis over Denver. Oh man, both of those are like that sounds terrible. Oh, that's pretty funny. From Denver to Minneapolis, wow, screams how bad Denver's gotten. But yeah, man. I mean, the crime. I feel like I don't know the organized crime. So I mean, like I was talking about our timeline, right? We used to have like young kids throw a rock. Okay, we've had a couple other attempts. People like got in one of our doors back when they were there. I think that yeah, we've had one guy that had a sledgehammer and rammed through our door, but couldn't get through the second one because the alarm's going off. Bro, when you are inside of a building stealing shit, and there's the loudest alarms going, "Rah!" Like you get the fuck out. You try to leave. This is the first time I've just sat there watching all our little alarm lights blaring, and you're like, they don't care. They legit do not care. So maybe they knew dispatch with the police, or maybe they knew someone that could like delay it. I don't know. But or maybe they literally just know the average response time for the Denver police is absolutely horrible. I'm not sure what happened, but they did. I mean, I can't imagine going and like I'm gonna steal stuff, and for 45 minutes just hearing this alarm going off and not caring at all. Yeah, it does suck. Thanks, Wendy. Um, it's wild though. But I mean, the crimes used to be little ones. Used to be like you go in, someone would steal $100. They'd grab some stuff in their shirt. Okay, shoplifting happens. That's part of it. Put in more camera, hire a security team to monitor it, or at least like spend time randomly watching videos because it's really expensive to have someone just sit and watch cameras all day long. Then you got a little more sophisticated. They have a sledgehammer. They knock in a door. They get to the second round of doors. They can't get in there, so they just steal some stuff that you have laying around. Did they literally stay in the building as alarms? Yeah, they were literally like 45 minutes just sitting there, with the alarms blaring, just stealing, not a care in the world, just alarms going off, and maybe they're DJs, and that's like their new favorite set. It's just the sound of an alarm blaring. I don't know. And our alarm company is calling the police, like, "Yo, where are you guys? Can you guys come in? Can you guys help?" No, okay. So do we get a new alarm company that maybe that has a better in with the police? I don't even know why or how that's a question to ask. Jesus Christ. That's so sad. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny. One of my other stores, it was a liquor store. When they broke into it, they didn't even go for the cash register. They knocked off the door handle. It was less secure. Knocked off the door handle. And yeah, it's fucking insane. That is true. Knocked off the door handle, and they just like, I think they only stole like 10 bottles. Like they broke in just to get drunk, which is pretty funny. But it's always shitty when you show up or when you watch the videos. It's always crazy to watch videos of people robbing your shit, and then in your head you're like, oh, I could fix that to prevent it or this or that, and it's like, and then you sit back and you go, why is this even a thing? How am I watching someone just rob my shit? that I've spent years building. And like my first reaction isn't like, man, I wish society was great. Man, I wish we didn't rob from each other. Man, I wish I would have called and asked and been like, yo, I'm broke. I need a loan or I need some booze or like, if you called and asked and like, hey, I'm either gonna rob your store tonight or give me 5 bottles of booze, I would have given you 5 bottles of booze. Just because it's such a hassle. It's not even like the stuff you steal, but then it's like the mental toll, and now you have to add more security, buy a better door, fix this problem, and then they go and figure out another way. Then they go and ram it with a freaking Chevy 3500. So now you're like, how do I prevent cars from running into my building? A problem I never thought I would have when I started a business. I never thought I would sit there and look at my partner and go, all right, so now how much money do we have to spend to keep cars from ramming through the side of our building? And then the answer was we had to put up yellow poles, cement poles all around our entire building. So now it's an ugly fucking piece of shit with yellow poles all around it so that when you try to drive, you hit the poles and you can't ram the side of our building. That is our solution. And then you have the next one. Okay, now we have to put bars on our windows. Now it looks like a fucking prison because we have to secure it. So we have bars on all my retail stores have bars on them. Fucking ugly as shit. Yes. Yeah, Jason Electric. So dog is not an option. That's insanity. Leaving dogs alone and cut industrial buildings and then try to have your employees become dog carers, and that's not good for the dog at all or the people. But electric, an electric fence, I guess that's another step. I don't know. Put an electric fence around everything, and then it's just another obstacle, more money. I feel like they're pretty easy to do. You can just cut the power. Or I think you have rubber gloves or a snapper that stops electric current. It's a thought. I don't even know if that's legal. Because now, what if like the water guy do they still have water guys and power guys that come by, or some city official needs to come through? That's a great question. Electric fence is very possibly going to happen. Can you tell me exactly what happened? Yeah. So we went through a few of the robberies I've had. This one was like 7 guys. They set up webcams outside of my store and basically filmed and learned how we close and open and stuff. And at like 2 a.m, they came in, tried to get through our back door. They had tools built for it, but our doors are like $50,000 doors. They have like 5 pins or something like that they go into like the wall. So to rip them out, you have to like rip out pieces of the wall, which they eventually did. So with the back door, couldn't get in, went to the front door, couldn't get in. And they were probably a little bit stumped, but then they're like, all right, well, let's try the sides. So then they went to our neighbors, broke into our neighbor's building, and then smashed all the cement and like tunneled a hole from the neighbors into ours and just like wrecked all the cement wall. And then sat there for 45 minutes stealing while the alarms are going off and the police are doing nothing. 2.5 hours later, police show up. Finally. Crazy to think if the police did do their job and showed up within 5 minutes, what would have happened? Man, we'd have 7 burglars, sophisticated. These are clearly professionals. 7 burglars that would have been arrested and off the streets. Well, in Denver, they might have been off the streets for like 24 hours, but at least that would have caught something. It would have saved us a bunch of money. I don't even know how much it is to fix a hole in a cement wall. Well, I hope that answers your question. I'm now stressed and agitated and have to go solve these problems, so I will be signing off to go figure my shit out. Hope today is the best day of your life. Till tomorrow.